Bank of America is now canceling all accounts. This means checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs, safety deposit boxes, credit cards. They are canceling all accounts if they do not meet one specific requirement. But guess what? It's not just Bank of America. Bank of America is doing this, and they publicly said this on their website. Bank of America is doing this. Wells Fargo does this. Chase does this. Every single bank does what I'm going to tell you Bank of America just said they are doing. So, if you have any money in a bank, if you have anything in a safety deposit box, anything in a CD, you need to be well aware of what banks could do to take your property, your assets, and give it to the state. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on, and what most people have no clue is actually legal. So make sure you watch this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is happening. So bank...
Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Habakak Badash, and double honors to the old apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same and teaching the same. All right. So pretty much the title of this lesson will be eventually all banks will shut down. Okay. Eventually all banks will shut down. All right. So and we, beginning with the elder apostles, great millstone on down to the least of us, for years we've been telling you people, the crash of the dollar, all right, is coming. Okay. A cashless society is coming. Okay, so all roads lead to the mark of the beast, that microchip, the RFID chip, all right? So, and recently, not too long ago, Elder Apostle Gabar, all right, and Elder Apostle Ramallah, they were speaking on, the money system and, how it's it was meant to enslave. It was meant to enslave, all right, and have further control, over the citizens, all right. All right, so this is not gonna be a long lesson at all. I'm gonna start off in Revelation 6:6. All right, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay. So this is going into money, currency. All right, and it's telling you this prophecy is going to happen, in our lifetime. All right, this is when what they call hyperinflation. Things is going to get extremely expensive. All right. So you have that fluctuation, but it's still the prices of everything is going to go up. All right. Because not that long ago, everything was gas, gas and stuff like that was extremely cheap at not too long ago. All right. But the price of everything is going to skyrocket, So yeah, and not only that, not only that, you got, the government shut down. They're taking away, food stamps and governmental assistance, and that's just going to further. These was crutches for you everyday Americans. All right, but all that's about to be taken away, and a person need crutches to walk that's injured. Most people are poor. All right. The statistics was high. I think it was like 80 or 90% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That's majority. Okay. So when they officially take away these benefits, what you think is gonna happen. You know, you got the you got the problem, reaction, solution, order out of chaos. Okay, you know, so this is leading to the new world order. Everything that's happening is leading to the new world order, but the harder these elites push for their new world order accomplishment, you know, the faster their kingdom, the faster the Lord destroys them. Okay, so soon after, and I repeat, soon after Esau implement the mark of the beast, all right, and make it mandatory that RFID chip and that Neuralink, soon as they make it mandatory and you have no choice, you have to take it. Soon after that, you know, we're almost out of here. You know, soon after that, you're gonna have the nuclear missiles flying through the sky, and the deliverance by the chariots of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, right before those nuclear missiles are shot off and hit their destination. Okay, so and we're very close to that time period. Okay, you know, you got thousands of people taking the Neuralink. All right, you got thousands of people taking the Neuralink. You got whole countries being forced, you know, to deal with the digital IDs, you know, like Great Britain and Mexico. All right, which, you know, so all roads lead to the mark of the beast. All right, like we keep telling you. All right. All right, and that oil and the wine here represents the truth, the knowledge is truth, and the elect. All right. And let's get a precept to back that up. All right. All right. Yeah, go. This is what I was looking for. So this, and this some Christians don't understand. A lot of, especially with prophecy, you know, the Bible is written in an allegorical fashion. It's written in a parable, poetic fashion. Okay. I'm trying to remember the villain off of that I think it's off of Marvel, not Marvel, but DC. I forgot his name. But anyway, the point is, the Bible is written in it's written like a poem almost. All right, and only the elect can understand it. You know, because you have to be trained, you have to be taught, educated to understand poems. You know, and in this case, the hopeful elect is educated by the true men of the Lord, the prophets. All right, you know, beginning with the elder apostles, great millstone. All right, on down to the least of us. You know, so this is just a precept to back up Revelation 6:6. All right, and it says Isaiah 29:9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord Yahweh have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered. The seers have he covered. All right. So the Lord hid them from the truth. So this is, you know, the truth is compared to what? Spiritual wine, spiritual milk. It's, you know, spiritual food for your spirit. Okay? So 2/3 of the Lord's people, they're spiritually drunk. They're spiritually drunken. All right, the elect chosen, they're going to be what? Sober. They're going to be spiritually sober. All right, meaning what? They're going to have 100% truth. All right, they're going to be able to. They're going to have all the truth. All right, and let's get that. This Revelation 1:3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. All right. Okay. So the elect, they have this 100% truth. Okay. They're not tossed to and fro with diverse doctrines. All right. This Ephesians 4:14. All right. Ephesians 4:14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried away with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Exactly. All right. So the elect chosen, they're not confused. All right. They don't. The elect chosen, um, is not searching for the truth. They're not looking for the truth. They have the truth. Okay. All right. Yahushua said, speaking of the elect, he none of them is lost. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So let me get this precept, and I'll probably end it on this. Yeah, I'm gonna end it on this. All right. So the point is, that oil and the wine, it represents this truth. All right, and the prophets. All right, the elect. Okay. And that oil represents this knowledge too. Let me get a precept on that. Uh, all right. So this Matthew chapter 25:1. All right. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Right. And that oil represents this truth, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, taking it serious. All right. Because a lot of people, they don't take this truth serious. All right. And therefore, they're not going to have enough, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, or truth to sustain them, when all hell break loose. Okay. Because they didn't take it serious. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. All right. And let me get another precept. Lord willing to come back to me. A precept had popped up in my mind. I'm trying to remember it. Yeah, Isaiah 33:6. All right. So this Isaiah chapter 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is his treasure. Okay? So that oil that the scriptures talk about, All right, in that wine, which they both, you know, are likened to doctrine. They both are likened, and I showed you the precepts. They both are likened to doctrine. All right, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, so if you don't have that 100% truth, from Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah and his prophets, all right, hey, you're not going to make it. All right. That's why we warn you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans to repent and listen to the true prophets. That way you can get the proper oil in the wine. All right. Okay. Let me get another precept. I think that's 1 Peter 2:2. All right. 1 Peter 2:2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Okay? So this truth, all right, getting 100% truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible, that's what's going to sustain you in Jacob's trouble, in the great tribulation, and during the hour of temptation, which is all simultaneously, is all in the same time period, so to speak. All right? So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Lord willing, that was edifying. Want to end it and give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Harakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same, teaching the same.